has no retreat, no surrender. That's the message of the sender. No BS and no pretender. Staying real with a positive agenda. Yes, push up yourself.
Nisa Bulavinaka, greetings to you from the Gadigal land in the Eora Nation. I'd like to acknowledge the custodians of this land, past, present, and emerging. We're coming to you with Fiji Day Festival live online, and a big Bulavinaka to MC Trey, my host, coming to us from Western Sydney. Bula Trey.
Vinaka Sevu and everyone that's listening in. My name is MC Trey, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we're meeting upon here today and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'm zooming in from the Durrag lands of the Waimali clan and very excited out here in Western Sydney to be joining you for Fiji Day 2021. Today we have a jam-packed program. We've got speeches and messages from guests from all over the world from our Fijian community, and some performances, and we take a look at some of the historical events and cultural events that help shape our nation, and also hear from diaspora communities all around the world. So we're very excited that you've joined us here today. Please tell us where you're zooming in from, leave comments, tell us how you're celebrating your Fiji Day. And you know, here in Sydney we're sad that we can't meet up to celebrate, but we thought we'd continue with some online content and share with you in the virtual space. So thank you for being with us, and we look forward to continuing and celebrating this Fiji Day today with you. Happy Fiji Day!
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden sword and wealth for our home is girt by sea. Our lands abound in nations, gifts of beauty, rich and in history's space, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strength, let us sing, advance Australia fair. Blessing grounds, oh God, on the Isles of Fiji, as we stand united under noble banner blue, as we honor and defend the cause of freedom ever. Onward march together, God bless Fiji, for Fiji, ever Fiji, let her voices ring with pride. Sing for Fiji, ever Fiji, her name hails far and wide, the land of freedom, hope and glory, to endure whatever becomes. May God bless Fiji forevermore.
Nissan Bulavinaka. As we mark Fiji's 51st anniversary of independence today, I would like, on behalf of the Fiji High Commission in Canberra, to wish you all a very happy Fiji Day. This occasion provides us an opportunity to celebrate our journey as a nation. While learning valuable lessons from the past, we are looking to the future and moving forward. A familiar proverb reminds us that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The past 12 months would have taught us this valuable lesson. We can and will overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges by working together, sharing resources, and helping one another. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in Fiji has been enormous. All countries, of course, are experiencing the crushing blow of the pandemic in so many different ways. But the impact on small island nations like Fiji have been particularly severe. Without the help that Fijians have been receiving from our Wuvale or family in Australia through the Commonwealth Government, Friends of Fiji, the Fijian communities, groups and individuals based here, Fiji would have been in a far worse state. So I want to express our sincere gratitude to the Australian government and Fijian friends here for your untiring and continuing support to Fiji. Far from weakening our bonds, the pandemic has served to strengthen our cooperation as nations and peoples of the Blue Pacific. The Fiji-Australia-Wuvale partnership that was signed by Prime Minister Vuranga Bainimarama and Prime Minister Scott Morrison in 2019 is proving its worth at this challenging time. While each of our countries have difficult pandemic-related issues domestically to contend with, there is little doubt that the bilateral cooperation between Fiji and Australia has soared to greater heights. The Wuvale partnership is enabling both our countries to forge ahead into the future on mutually beneficial terms. At the core of that framework is the strong people-to-people links. As we look to the year ahead, nothing gives us more hope than the strong and encouraging track record of our ongoing mutual support. No matter how long you may have been away from Fiji or the geographical distance that separates us, nothing can take away the joy and pride that comes from the positive impact you are making through your contributions to Fijians back home. I want to thank you, our Fijian families, friends, and communities living here in Australia for the tremendous support you have been providing. Together, we are co-workers in nation building. In celebrating our 51st anniversary as an independent nation, we are acknowledging the sacrifice of Fiji's forebears and what they have passed down to us. We are also renewing our commitment to build on that positive legacy. More importantly, we embrace our responsibility to transfer to our children and descendants a secure, prosperous future. We hope to be able to travel as easily and frequently again soon so we can see one another in person. We look forward to continuing our collaboration in building our economies and societies. Have a safe and enjoyable Fiji Day celebrations.
Wow, that was His Excellency Luke. And it was wonderful to hear His Excellency Luke Daunivalu with his greetings to the Fiji community. We've started train. Bulavinaka to everyone there. We're back in the studio.
We are, yes. Happy Fiji Day, and
Happy
excited
Fiji
to
Day
be
to
here
you.
with you, celebrating online. You know, this morning I was talking to my mum and my sis, and we were like, wow, if we were meeting in person, we'd be down at the grounds, everyone would be running around. In my head, I was thinking I would be running around getting food as we're setting up. But
Sampling all the food, eh, Trey? Sampling
yeah,
all the
we
food.
have to test it, you know, before it goes out to the public, right? So I know I always go and check from all this favorite stalls, you know, the lovo stall, the curry stall, the ratuman stall, and you know, just to sample what's out there. So it's sad that this is the second year that we can't meet up, and I know a lot of us here in Sydney and other parts of Australia are feeling, you know, a bit sad that we can't meet up, but hey, luckily we can still do things together, and you know, there's so much content happening online this weekend, but also so we can, you know, cook our food to our Fiji music and, you know, call gang back home, talanoa, catch up, you know, in our own way that we can.
Yes.
So, and this is the way you and I connect, right? Virtually. And of course
That's right.
it goes live.
That's right. We did earlier recordings, as you saw in our greetings. So we thought we'd do that outside and just get a little bit of the light in rather than just the studio light. So I was up this morning, Trey. I was determined to catch the sunrise.
Yes.
So that image was from 6:20 this morning.
Good on you.
The
Wow.
to watch the sunrise at the with the opera house and it rising up from there, and then looking at the backdrop as well of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. That's where I was actually watching it from, and it was just spectacular. So again, a big mbula vinaga to everyone who's watching in online. A happy Fiji Day to you all, and it's good to see those tuning in already. Please tell us where you're listening in from, and share your comments, send us some love, and also share the links elsewhere as you wish. So we want to say hello, a big happy Fiji Day to Uli, who's tuning in as well. Where again are you, Uli? Uli's over she's also in southwestern Sydney, right? She's somewhere near you, Trey?
I think she may be. I'm not
Yeah.
sure yet, but I'd say Western Sydney as well.
Right.
Yes. So
Wherever,
good morning. Noa ia to Uli and our Ratuman family that listen in.
yes, and there's Seriana Andikula. Where are you listening in from, Seriana? Bulavinaka Isanavakango, Bulavinaka Mosese, all the way from Brisbane, listening in. And the other year we had you around, right? 2 years ago. 2 years ago was the last time I saw Mosese over at the Fiji festival that we did. Remember that festival, right? And
yes, I do. I was reflecting on that recently that we
Yes.
had in Parramatta with support from Parramatta Council. So thank you to them for always supporting us. And they're looking forward to supporting us next year as well. So we
Yes.
look forward to a face-to-face event when things start to ease up.
Exactly. And thank you, Nawakangu Mosese, for what shall I say? He commented on my hair. So
well, you do look stylish today.
I'm
mean,
glad
you
that I
always
got the green light from my combine all the way in Queensland. Yes.
Yes.
He was telling us that he was supplying the grog. Boy, we remember those grog parties, right? Over there at that festival. It was in
It
abundance.
didn't stop. Okay, the grog bowl was the last thing standing, right? That day. The
That's
stores
right.
shut down. Everyone left. That tanoa kept flowing. It just didn't
flowing.
stop.
And we had the singing dringy, remember?
Yes, we did. That was beautiful. In the middle of Parramatta City, this white tent, and we're all sitting in around the bowl, and the boys were singing. It was beautiful.
So good, so good. What did you think of the speech from the High Commissioner, Trey?
Beautiful speech, and I love that, he highlighted, the challenges that we're all going through, and very thoughtful, and also acknowledge the support that a lot of the families, overseas have been sending back home. And, as we do at times like this, we step up, and, I always reflect on how blessed we are. Like when we weren't working, people still have access to funds, whereas in Fiji, that's not the case. So it's good that we're able to support them. And then also the organizations, right? I mean, there was the Friends for Fiji project fundraise money. There's also, the mask drive as well that is happening. So there's so many initiatives supporting Fiji. So it's great that His Excellency highlighted that, and that strong partnership, right, with Australia and Fiji, which will continue, into the future. So beautiful speech.
No, that was.
Can I just say your shirt? Beautiful shirt. What are you wearing today?
Who am I wearing today?
Okay, yes. Who are you wearing?
Who are you wearing today? What's going on there? Where's your Mbula fever going on? I'm wearing, of course, this is from Andy Coiler.
Ah,
Andy Coiler's collection. Yeah, that's it. It's just beautiful, right? And
It
these
is.
was the linen shirt range that she brought out. Yeah.
right. You can tell, yes, it's that linen lightweight fabric.
Yeah.
My Bulla stuff is in bling. Did you see this?
Oh, what does it say?
Can you read it?
Uro, 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 Uro.
And look, what's this one?
What's that say? It's blinging.
Begin-
Let me take a closer look. Shall I take a
It
closer look?
begins with T, and you're part of it too.
Is it
High level.
Taylebu? Push Taylebu. Billy. Yes. All the
There
people
you
from
go.
the house, say hello. Bulavinaka Aaron as well, who's listening in. And for those of you that got to watch as well, the anthem, we had 2 years in a row where Ilisavani Dava, that beautiful voice of his, thank you for the beautiful anthems, right? He did it a cappella in the Australian national anthem and the Fijian national anthem, which is a little thing that we have at Fiji Day Sydney. We'd have both of the anthems, and I was watching through those clips. That's from about 3 years ago.
Wow.
3 years ago, yeah. So it's just beautiful to sort of look at some of that footage, because we're trying to find different footages that we could share online with you all to since we can't actually be doing that live, we decided to dig into all the beautiful footages that we have, and there's so many of it. So we'll continue to share some of that throughout the day. But we wanted to, Trey, did you want to introduce the next one? Our first.
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, there's events happening all over the country, and I know I saw Brisbane in Sunnybank, they were setting up their stalls early yesterday actually, so that would be in full swing in Brisbane there in Sunnybank, but also in Melbourne, they are running online events as well. So here's a little message from the organisation in Melbourne that have wishing us all a happy Fiji Day and telling us about their events.
Awesome. Here we go.
Doesn't play for us.
Doesn't want to play. Well, let's try again. I'll try from here. Ready? Here we go.
A big Bula Vinaka Sydney and all those watching from us here in lockdown Melbourne and regional Victoria. My name is Sylvia Coombe. I'm the president of the Fijian Community Association of Victoria. I'm a Kai Tawava Yawe Kandavu Vasu Tambia Yasana Madhuata. Our association is 7 years old next month, fully volunteered, non-profit registered association, and we are based in Melbourne. Our members are from metropolitan and regional Victoria. We are a multicultural Fijian association with over 500 financial members. This week, we are celebrating Fijian Language and Culture Week, which began on Saturday, the 2nd of October, on Facebook and YouTube in our first-time collaboration with Fiji Diaspora Women's Alliance in Sydney, and I hope you've had a chance to catch one of the many fun and informative activities each day and learn about our rich and diverse Fijian culture. To finish off Language and Culture Week, we will celebrate Fiji Day on Saturday the 9th October live on our Facebook page. We just thought we'd get one day ahead of the actual Fiji Day on the 10th, showing a pre-recorded collaboration of videos of speeches, cultural performances, and well wishes. Here's a short promo. Vinaka and Bahut Dhanyavad.
There you go. All the way from Victoria. So they're also doing a live stream, I believe, yeah? We can't hear you, Miss Trey.
And they've been running all week as well. So they've presented online programs in partnership with the Fiji Diaspora Women's Alliance, which is based here in Sydney. So I don't know if you've been seeing the videos of all, they've had a lot of online competitions and young people talking in Fijian and then sharing, so it's been a great opportunity for, the next generation to find out what's my tikina, what's my Yabusa, and then share, but then also, okay, what's the word of the day, and then do their sentences. So that's been fun to see. And, also in New Zealand, they have Fijian Language Week. So there's been a lot of push in the community there as well to encourage everyone to, learn the language. So we're all learning, and it's great to
We're
see
all learning.
increasing
Did you,
every year.
yeah, did you do any of the online quizzes that they were doing? Did you take part in any of that?
No, I didn't. But my daughter kept showing me stuff. Mom, what is, and asking me, so we were having our discussions as well at home.
Yeah, that was really fun, actually. My niece got it out yesterday, and we were all playing it as a family, just to make sure. And she was asking about what is this color and what is that color, and we're going. She goes, "How come you don't know that color?" I said, "Because we didn't have to use that, So I don't really know it. So it was really, really fun to play those games. Again,
Yeah.
thanks to everyone who's tuning in all around Australia and also around the world, So that was, as we saw, Melbourne is also doing some activities today, and which is really, really exciting to see all the different programs and the language programs that are going on. It's really spread out the language programs, hasn't it, Trey?
It has, and it's great to
Yeah.
see that push, to
Yeah.
encourage people.
For someone like yourself, who, how have you found, what is important to you about language, especially the Fiji language? Like for you, because I know that you've been really trying to learn and expand your Fijian vocab. And so what's the experience been like, and why is that important to you to learn?
It's just, easier for when you go home and then to be able to converse. But then also, that what it's like, right? When you speak English and you speak Fijian, the different connection, that language, it strengthens that connection back to culture. I mean, you would know this. You speak fluently. You can tell the difference from when you have a conversation in English and you have a conversation in Fijian. Your tone changes, the energy changes. It strengthens it. It re-strengthens, reunites that connection back to culture. So even when we're around each other, our tones all change. Even when we do speak English, our tone changes, our humor, that Fijianness comes out in us, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when we're together, we feel like, oh, we're home again, with us, with all our gang, and how we carry on, so, and then that just strengthens that connection back to our identity. Yeah. And
So
so,
true. So
and they say if we don't practice the language, then it's not going to be around. So it needs to be passed on to generations for the language to continue to survive,
yes.
Yeah.
So very true. And I for one that grew up learning, growing up in the village and learning my dialect, and the importance that my parents placed on me learning it. We were not allowed, even when we migrated to Australia, we were not allowed to speak English at home, because we had that automatically, and we would speak with our friends and everybody else outside the home. But because my parents wanted us to have that as a treasure, and instill that in us to continue to practice and use the language at home. So we had that, and it was interesting because my other brothers and sisters, as we've gone on, we've also taught our kids and nephews and nieces to try and retain that. Let's continue to practice it. Let's continue to do that. And talking about languages, you spoke to some lady in Hawaii. Would you like to introduce her next?
Yes, so Dr. Tarisi, strong advocate for cultural heritage and cultural maintenance through Indigenous knowledges, but also language as well. So big, Vanakavaka level to Dr. T, Talanoa with Dr. T is her program, for taking time to share messages with us, because she's been very busy, providing so much content this week as well for us all around the world. And here she is with her message.
Awesome. A big aloha to
Nisambula, Bula Vinaka, Bula Nakwa, aloha. Just taking this time to say Bula Vinaka to you all. My name is Tarisi Vunindilo, and I'm greeting you all from the beautiful islands of Hawaii. Thank you so much, Thelma, for the invitation to give a shout out to the Fijian Language Week that we are all celebrating all over the world. So here in Hawaii, this week I was sharing information about our Fijian riddles, and that's one way I can contribute to the celebration of our beautiful language. And I'm here wishing everyone in Australia and many Fijians all over the world a wonderful Fijian Language Week. And on behalf of my family from Namosi and Kandavo, we say Bulavinaka and Loloma to you all. Mwade.
Oh, how beautiful is she? She's just so warm. I just find her, as soon as I see her face on screen, I just feel warm, and what an asset she is, right? To our
So
people,
true.
our community, worldwide, as far as being a knowledge, knowledge holder of our precious culture and tradition. So it's beautiful to see, and she's really ignited a new love for language and culture and the richness of our Fiji culture. So it's just a beautiful. Thank you, Vinaka to you for coming to us from Hawaii, and thank you so much for who you are and the great work that you do. Now, talking about
And
great.
can I just add,
Yep,
with
sure.
her daughter makes this jewelry.
Is that right?
So yeah, in Hawaii.
Wow.
And it's another way of us, finding out and igniting the conversations, with the next generation about their identity. So great idea.
So true. And especially to young people, right?
Yes.
To young people, that particular way of reaching out to a different generation, another generation, and so forth is fantastic to see. And just talking about, those that are doing great work within the community and so forth. Here is a wonderful group from the Sydney, Fiji DMC, who have done amazing work, which Trey and I have a great part, a great privilege to be a part of also. And we've got Honorina and Sarah just sharing to us a little bit and also doing a shout out.
Bulavinaka, this is Honorina.
Bulavinaka, this is Sarah.
And we're from the Sydney, Fiji Disaster Management Collective.
Wow, what a year it's been, from TCASA at the start, and then TCANA, and then most recently the global pandemic restrictions, lockdowns that we've been experiencing in Fiji.
And thankfully we're coming out of, I should say, our vaccination rates almost at maximum rate. And what that also means is border reopening, yay. And we can all see family and friends again very, very soon. And I'd also would like to take this opportunity, once we've, mentioned that, is to thank everyone that has supported the Sydney Fiji DMC through the projects we've had, donations for Cyclone Yasa, Cyclone Ana, and the recent online fundraising that we did for the those impacted by COVID-19 in Fiji. So Vinaka level to all of you who donated. And on that note, we'd also like to...
We'd like to thank Sydney Fiji Day for the opportunity to acknowledge, and we'd like to wish everybody a very big, warm, happy and safe Fiji Day to everybody. God bless you all.
And may God bless Fiji. Vinaka.
Vinaka.
Vinaka Tisaya and Honorina for sharing that video with us and highlighting, the wonderful work that's been done for Fiji as well. Thank
So
you.
true, so true. So beautiful to see that, them sharing that with us. And the other, how about some music, Trey?
Why not? Who do we have?
Who do we have? Well, let's see. Oh, can you see it on screen?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. What am I doing? This is the thing with live, right? Everything just goes funny.
But before you play the song, should we,
Yeah.
are there any other messages that we need to play?
There's lots of messages we could play. So just checking back in with those that are tuning in. A big bulavinaka to Christine, who's tuning in. Lovely to see you on here, Christine. Hope you're having a great day. Tell us what you're doing out there. I'm sure you've cooked up, you being a chef and all, creating some beautiful meals over there for Matangali and the family. Hope you are well. And also a big bulavinaka to Matangali Usamoli, all the way from Fiji as well. Oh, he's saying that Trey, evergreen. There you go, evergreen.
Evergreen.
Yes.
Is that your shirt?
That because we're wearing green? I know Miss MC Trey's evergreen, that's for sure.
We're all evergreen.
Yes.
But thank you to Usa, with all the great work that he's doing in Suva there for the, families and supporting each other. Thank you so much. And he's always on the ground, whether it's working or volunteering and assisting people in need, him and his team of volunteers. So Binaka Usa, and hope you gang having a good Fiji day. Send us, if you're having a nice meal over there, I could just imagine the food that everyone's having at home. Wish we were there.
So true, so true. Hey, we've got another shout out before we go to the song. Yeah, I'll try and fix up the technical part of the song. This is what happens. We're coming to you live stream, so you just got to take the kind of technical glitches that we have. So here, Trey, part of the Sydney Fiji Day especially has been this beautiful soul, Neita Choweli Ravulala, who has been, remember him coming and doing the Queen's speech? So we have this tradition where in Sydney, where Neita Choweli will come in drag and do a speech. Like we'll share some videos later, but does this amazing speech, and it is the Queen's speech that Prince Charles read when Fiji became independence, because the Queen couldn't come, so he bought the speech, and the speech begins with "My husband and I." So and Choweli recites this, and the context of it is he learned this when he was at school. And that was one of his speeches that he memorized. And so to this very day, people would ask him to recite that speech. And also, we've made it a tradition in Sydney to have him up on stage and to do that speech. But we've got a shout out from Neta Choeli, and we just want to share that with you right now.
Bula everybody, my name is Joeli Ravualala, and I'm sending you warm Fiji Day greetings from Umina Beach. I know it's pretty hard lately. It's been hard for everybody around the world. But here we are as Fijians all over the world on today, Fiji Day, reaching out to everybody and saying hello. Mbula Vinaka, Nisambula, wherever you are, I hope you're all well, because I'm currently recovering from a neck surgery, and I'm so glad that I'm recovering. Thank you for all the well wishes. However, today is all about all of you out there. I think my simple message is, if you haven't been jabbed, please go and get a jab. Okay, big loloma to everybody. Stay cool, stay calm, and stay happy and stay safe. Thank you, Sevu, and thank you, Trey, for this wonderful opportunity. Loloma and God bless. And as the Queen says, my husband and I have had many happy remembrances of our visits to your islands. Nisa, more there. More there.
Oh, bless Choeli. And I hope, Choeli's feeling better. I thought we were going to hear the whole speech.
No,
We got a
we do have that.
teaser.
Sorry?
We got a teaser.
We got a teaser. I've actually got Neta Choeli, if you're listening in, I pulled out something from the archives that we're going to show later of you. And it was just great to see him, giving us a shout out. And we miss you, and we hope that you're recovering well at this time as well from the surgery. And there you go. You heard it from the Queen herself, Neta Choeli. No Choeli saying, get a jab.
Yes.
Uppercut.
And Choeli works in the medical system, so it's speaking. Choeli's speaking from experience. So thank you for sharing that advice.
So true. And just a couple of shout outs, Trey. Do you want to do those last two over there?
Yes, so we have SB Bulavinaka Mbongi here at Constitution
Lako and
Hill,
Alangi
Sydney.
Lako and Alangi Langi.
Beautiful. So happy Fiji Day to you, and also to John Haven Smith, God Save Fiji, and the Queen, of course. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Oh, and Christine, happy Fiji Day, and Aaron, Bulla Aaron, Talofa Aaron. Good to see you all listening in.
Yes.
So
now
much.
It's time for some music, Trey. Do you want to introduce it? I'll see if we can share this music.
Sure. So, one of our cultural icons, Miss Lysa Vulakora, she's been a founder, in music in Fiji, and continues to put out the hits year after year, and doesn't seem to age at all, and it is an inspiration for many of us around the world. Her go-get attitude, and always active, but always willing to take time out for people, very, very humble and loving person. Embodies the true spirit of Fiji, right?
Absolutely.
Always community minded. So she's allowed us to use a bit of this clip, so we look forward to sharing it with you to help celebrate our Fiji Day. And Bulla from Cromoin, Docs, Skilangi and Mossman, happy Fiji Day. Yes, indeed. Happy Fiji Day to everyone.
Yes.
Over to you, Sevu.
Okay, have a little bit of a dance break, everybody. See you back shortly.
Bula, I'm Liza Volokoro saying Bula Vinaka and hello to all our WOWS families all around the world. The effects of pandemic COVID-19 has been devastating to all our artists in Fiji, especially to the women artists who are employed in the hotels, who have all lost their jobs. And we haven't had enough or any help at all from any organizations or the government. We have to fend it for ourselves, especially a lot of women have turned to farming and work back on the lands to support their families and their children. Thank you very much. We would like to do two of my original Fijian songs for all of you who are listening in today. Thank you so much. Vinaka. Ciao no mo kakarau or mangosang kahit mataw Gawin na kamawis iyaw sa buwan na dangin first May kambula era paraw niyo sales sumay Yaw mo ko ciao 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 Mo ko ciao
Such a beautiful piece. And you know, I love her backdrop where she is. That's probably in her backyard, yes? And then the music and the energy, you know, and you know, like I was saying earlier, she's always doing things for community, and you know, that was a fundraiser for young people affected by cancer. But
Yeah.
bless her, and you know, it's great that she was highlighting the challenges as well that many have been going through the pandemic. I mean, it's great to see that, you know, there has been some support from the government and we've seen an increase.
Yeah.
So Vinaka Talisa.
I think when that was, yes, that's in Wainandoi. Sorry, I was on mute before, but where Lisa lives, beautiful estate that she lives in, you know, and you know she really does. She walks the talk. She does her own planting. You know, she fixes all the maintenance in the house, and it's just to see her go and through all this, you know, and she's one of the hardest working people I know, and such a great role model for for us at large, but specifically as well to women, and also as far as a musician. You know, she's done over 11 albums. So
Amazing.
she, you know, she just didn't turn up yesterday, and she's recorded with such artists such as Jimmy Barnes as well here in Australia, who's an Australian music legend, you know.
Legend. Yes,
um,
indeed.
yeah, and so it's just so wonderful. And we hope if you're listening in, we thank you for always sharing the music, sharing the love, and you're a truth teller. You know, sometimes it's uncomfortable to share some of these thoughts and so forth. But I remember when this was recorded, Trey, there was not much happening. You know, so
Mm.
it and that's why her tone was about, you know, we're not getting much help at this stage, but luckily, as you said, the government has since then you know, stepped up and started
Increase
to
the support. Yes,
yeah.
indeed. Hey, great to see all the listeners tuning in. Happy Fiji Day to Seriana and Dikula and also Leolingani. So thank you for listening in, and tell us where you're listening in from. And you know, Usa here, he's joining in from Nosori Coral, celebrating Fiji Day. He said he's thanking all the volunteers that have been working alongside the government on the ground, the swabbing team, the contact tracing team. Send us a picture, Usa,
Yes,
please.
please. We'll
And you know,
share
everyone
it.
that's been helping the government, can you imagine? And a lot, they're volunteering, you know, to help, a lot of them. So there's the village elders, the families, the SDMO and ROA, FCOS, Piango. They're providing a feast and gifts for them, like a Thanksgiving celebration. So, and the contribution of the young people during this Fiji Day. And they said again, thank you to Sydney Fiji DMC and everyone who continues to support the families in Fiji and the work that we all do. And, you know, we can all do something little, you know, in the spirit of Fiji Day, you know, this weekend, let us, you know, be grateful of all the things that we have and reflect on how much we've all come through, and that what, you know, we can all do something for everyone else, you know. Let us continue to strengthen our community spirit. And we've heard that, you know, over the last few months, all the different people that we've been speaking to, the positive thing is it's like people are reaching out, we're talking to each other, we're connecting, and we're helping each other out. You know, that's happening even more. That community spirit has been strengthened. So, you know, this weekend we continue that for our Fiji Day celebrations. And thank you to Sania. Oh, yes, happy Fiji Day. And she also says, Lisa is a legend. Yes, indeed, an inspiration to many of us.
Sure.
I just wanted to highlight, you know, we're celebrating 51 years of independence. Yes. And you know, I wasn't around then, but you know, every year I will go back and look at images and footage, you know, from that period. You know, and this is one. And Sev, you know, feel free to comment as well. But you know, this is one of the images that I found online. You could
Wow.
tell people where it is, Sev.
Yes, this is Albert Park, as you can see, and there behind you is the I believe is that the old Grand Pacific? Somebody correct me if I'm
Oh,
wrong.
yes. Oh, I
Neta
don't know.
Chiweli, if you can correct me on that, that is either the Grand Pacific Hotel, the original building, or it could actually be because see, the old stage was where they're facing. I think they're facing government building, right? The government building is at the back, and that on your left hand side is the botanical gardens, right on there. I believe that's what it is. So if somebody please correct me if I'm wrong on that. Oh, Leah, Laini, and Uli said yes. Uli, were you around? Were you both of you and Leah as well? Were you around during that time? But I believe they've agreed with me. So that is the GPH. Oh, Bulavinaka to Ninava'a, Talafalava from Samoa. Yes, happy Fiji Day, the 51st Fiji Day. Beautiful, beautiful. Another photo tray.
Well, this is when the ceremony was taking place, right? The kava ceremony. And then,
that's correct.
So, there would have been representatives from the different clans there in Fiji. And, it's such a beautiful ceremony to watch, isn't it?
Yes. This is what you call what is happening right here. If there was the video image, this is the Meketaki Yangona. So where it is the dance and a beautiful tradition where the Yangona is then served to the chief guests, and it is done beautifully there, in the cultural traditional attire that we have. That is a beautiful footage there. And look at everybody sitting around on the side, celebrating this huge occasion, for Fiji. And that was being served to Prince Charles, as you can see there. As we mentioned before, Prince Charles represented Her Majesty the Queen, Her Highness, Her Royal Highness, the Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II could not make it. So Prince Charles came as the representative to Great Britain, and that. So beautiful photos. Any other one that you wanted to show? Was that it?
I think that was it. Just the 3 images.
Beautiful.
We didn't share the video, but I thought we could just highlight, some of the ceremony that took place in 1970, not 1870. And that
Yes.
was there in Albert Park. So that's when Fiji regained its independence from Britain. Such a beautiful ceremony.
I think around 1870 was the deed of cession, eh? Is that what you're referring to? 1874?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So now we look, Trey, it's already, again, those that have joined us, you can watch this again on, of course, Facebook, on the Fiji Day page, and also on our YouTube channel as well, as you'd see. But we wanted to, again, share a couple more greetings. We have a wonderful Fiji Day greeting as well from one of our leaders, former Prime Minister as well. And thank you to them for also sharing a message with us here at Fiji Day Sydney. And we'd like to go to that, and then we'll try and squeeze in a couple more shout outs after this, eh, Trey? Yeah? Okay, let's do this.
Good morning. Nisam Buluvinak. I greet all citizens of Fiji here and abroad, especially to our listeners and viewers in Australia, in New Zealand, in America, with the British Army in the United Kingdom, and everywhere else around the globe. Nisambula. Today we celebrate Fiji Day. 177 years after Fiji became a colony of the British Empire in 1874. It is also 51 years since our independence in 1970, and 34 years after we became a republic. Today is the right moment for all of us to pay tribute to the leaders of the past. I begin with the chiefs, who in their collective wisdom and their love for their subjects and their commitment to ensuring a secure and better and united future for the Vanua, ceded their authority and sovereignty over these islands to Queen Victoria of Great Britain on the 10th of October, 1874. They did that trusting that Her Majesty, her heirs and successors would protect the interests of Fiji and promote civilization, Christianity, industry and trade in the new colony. We remember with gratitude the ensuing role of Her Majesty Queen Victoria, her heirs and successors, and we give thanks also for our local leaders who built systems of governance for independent Fiji. As we became a part of the community of nations, we took on responsibilities as best we could to maintain peace elsewhere in the world. There was and still is a cost to this in monetary terms, as well as lives lost. I suggest that we look at that more closely in the future as we set our priorities from here on. We are consoled by the knowledge that, small as we are, we have done our part as world peacekeepers. We have seen Fiji's economy expand based on the growing and processing of sugar and sugarcane, development of tourism, timber and mineral resources, and some manufacturing and service industries. We have also witnessed the emergence of a local system of commerce built on the skills and vision of our Fiji entrepreneurs. All this has given Fiji the most complex and diversified economy in the island nations of the region. We are now taking part in international efforts to halt the damaging effects of climate change. With that comes environmental degradation and pollution, massive cyclones, and rising sea levels. We have witnessed coastal erosion. Villages are threatened, and so are riverbanks and our very own Pacific Ocean. It is very clear that we must invest more effort and capital into our campaign to protect all parts and all elements of our environment. It is not enough to make expensive trips for overseas conferences. We need to see more immediate results at home, starting with a cleaner Fiji. Despite the continuing development of the skills and qualifications of our local people, we are witnessing a trend for some senior posts in the civil service and the private sector to be occupied by expatriates. What has happened to our program of localization? It has become a casualty of emotionally and temperamentally unstable leadership in the current government. Nepotism, cronyism, corruption seems to be its hallmark. The normal separation of powers, which should be a pillar of stable democratic leadership, is virtually non-existent. On this day of reflection about Fiji, I make an appeal for us all to objectively look at ourselves and ask whether we are maintaining the vision of the great chiefs who took us out of something divisive and sometimes cruel and deadly tribalism into a new form of civilization. Is it not ironic that while we still contribute to maintaining world peace and stability, we find our own country beset by a rising tide of social and economic problems and insecurity? I say that democracy is under threat. I say we have within us the capability to rebuild our nation. We can do it. We can defeat despair and poverty, unemployment, and a host of other social problems. We can bring an end to fear and the curtailment of fundamental human rights and group rights. And then we can all rise to become all that we can be: unified, happy, and free. Have a happy Fiji Day. God bless you all. Praise God. Vinaka.
That was the leader of the new, the People's Alliance Party, the former Prime Minister, Mr. Sitiveni Lingamanda Rambuka. What a beautiful speech there of hope as well. And not shying away, I suppose, from the challenges as well. Him being a political leader, he would address that from his perspective as well. But we've run out of time, Trey.
We have, and it's, you know, it's great that we've had a good talanoa as we do. We've shared messages from His Excellency from Canberra. We've shared messages from Victoria, the association in Victoria. We've shared messages from different leaders in our community, our political parties, our creative parties, and our cultural communities. So we'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. We will continue to share messages from all of our leaders and our community, our leaders, and cultural spaces as well. And you know, tonight will be a bit more relaxed. It's 7 p.m., you know, so, you know, have your dinner with us. You know, if you're mixing, you know, bring your mbilos. If you're sitting around, you know, if you're having a couple to drinks to celebrate, you know, we'll be on from 7 to 8 p.m. and we look forward to celebrating with you this evening. Over to you, Sev.
Yes, and just before we leave as well, we just want to give a shout out to Laisani Murray from the old capital of Sydney, from old capital Lavuka, Isanim Bulavinaka. Big love to you all in the old capital. Love that place. I hope it's beautiful weather there, and happy Fiji Day to you there in Levuka. And also a big hello to our beautiful Tale, all the way from Melbourne, Victoria. Mbula Tale.
Mbula Tale.
Happy Fiji Day to you too. Great to see you all on board. And as Trey said, we will be back this evening at 7 p.m. where we have a full program again of different shout outs. And it's a way that we can celebrate. So gather yourselves, grab some food, and share in some music. And let's share again the festivities of Fiji Day as much as we can under these circumstances. So from us, Vinaka Vakalevu. And until later this evening. Oh, last one. Amelia Yaukuva. Sorry, Amelia Yaukuva. Greetings to you as well. Happy Fiji Day. And here we are going to go out with none other than the amazing. Where is she? Is she over here? Is she over there? There she is. Over there. Over there. She's over there. None other than the amazing MC Trey is going to leave us on a beautiful journey. You know, this song, Trey, I've got to say, has become so potent, more so in this hour. And the song is titled Getaway, and it's about dreaming about, you know, a brighter future, days ahead. Sydney's coming out of lockdown. New South Wales is coming down of lockdown since we've reached 70% on Monday. So everybody's getting set up and getting excited. And I'm sure different places around the world in Fiji, they're changing as well in terms of response as we're starting to come out of all this. And then we can surely go to Fiji Tray and have a getaway. So big love to everybody out there. We'll see you again this evening at 7 p.m. And now we leave you with Getaway.
Happy Fiji Day!
Hello? Trey.
How are you?
I'm good. Are you in?
I am, yes.
Oh my god, we gotta do this.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, right?
You know it.
Well, let's get it done.
Let's go.
When I wake in the morning, I look in the mirror. I thank the Lord for what He deliver. Blessed with the best, with an S on my chest. Your we're coming through with zest. Yes, pushing on to the next test. You better have a rest. Best believe I digest less. Remember, don't forget.
Remember the days when we used to ponder about all the things we wanted in life. You can imagine all I ever dreamed of was to stand right where we are today.
I wish I could get away, chasing all my troubles astray. Music pumping loud all day, keep it on repeat, on play. Pause, so let's take a break. Pause, search within and create. You can follow your dreams, lay it all on the plate. Turn it up, turn it down, take charge of your fate. Trust that He will meet you halfway. Put in the work every single day. Stay focused, stay true to thine own self. Be you.
Remember the days when we used to ponder about all the things we wanted in life. You can imagine all I ever dreamed of was to stand right where we are today.
I wish I could get away, chasing all my troubles astray. Music pumping loud all day, keep it on repeat, on play. I wish I could get away, chasing all my troubles astray. Music pumping loud all day, keep it on repeat, on play.
Now you be who you gotta be. Don't let nobody bring you down. No matter what they say, just know you are all that needs to be.
Has no retreat, no surrender. That's the message of the sender. No BS and no pretender. Staying real with a positive agenda. Yes, push up yourself, elevate top shelf. Keep rising to the top, never fall till you drop. So big up, you will go far. And I wish I could get away, chasing all my troubles astray. Music pumping loud all day, keep it on repeat, on play. Here we go. I wish I could get away, chasing all my troubles astray. Music pumping loud all day, keep it on repeat, on play.
There you go.
Finally.
Oh my gosh, we got it done.